Hey, Cat.
John! Hey, John.
Hi. That didn't happen. What are you
What?
talking about?
What didn't happen?
Huh? Me? No? Nope. Imagination.
Okay. John, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Is it not obvious?
Oh, I mean, you're doing great.
Yep, totally. Awesome.
I can
Great,
tell by the
perfect.
look on your face.
Fantastic.
All smiles.
I might be getting into cartoon voice again. I don't know. I need to stop that.
Fine. Hey, man, whatever it takes.
You know, the fans love it.
Fans love everything we do.
That's what I'm saying. That's why.
Poor bastards.
That's why we have tens of listeners.
We love each and every one of them.
We do. And you get more love per capita by listening to this show.
That's so true.
Because there's more to go around.
There's more to spread around.
That's right. Or a smaller sample size to spread it around on.
Yes.
We're going to spread our love on you, is what we're saying.
That's what's happening right now.
Exactly.
Oh, we're spreading.
Oh, it's happening. Oh, Kat, what are we doing?
John,
Yes.
you and I, together,
Ostensibly.
right now.
I mean, yes, that now. Now, but not to the listeners now. The mistakers
But-
now is different than our now.
Yeah, but they understand that.
Yeah,
This
but
is the
if you-
contract that we've bought into.
All right. This is, okay, context is everything, I guess.
So, for the next hour or so,
Approximately.
you and I are being frozen in time.
That
We are
sounds
being-
painful.
We're
Should I have brought a sweater?
we're being frozen in carbonite, if you will.
Man.
You and I are recording a podcast. It's called My
Okay.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Your name is John. My name is Kat. If this is the first time you're listening to this podcast, you are going to be very confused. I suggest you go back to the very beginning of our catalog, which is almost, my God, 3 years old.
Yep.
And maybe just come back to this episode later.
I don't know. I say buys the ticket, takes the ride. Like
Fair enough.
go for it. Just
All right.
just strap in and
All right. Whoa.
I aim to not be too inside baseball with our stuff. I mean, it's fun to do a call out for the regular listeners. I love that.
I love a call out.
I love a call out. I love a call back.
Oh,
I love
mean,
calls.
Listen,
yeah.
forget it. I love a call back. I love all the calls too. You're right. All right. Well, then let me just put it this way.
All right.
I'm going to go back to my original train of thought.
Woo woo. That was a train whistle.
That was get on board. We're recording a podcast, John, and it's
Yes.
called My Mistake.
I agree.
And thank you. Sometimes we record conversations that you and I have about mistakes.
Seconded.
Sometimes we have people on and they talk about their mistakes.
Can't argue with that.
Sometimes we talk about mistakes that happened in history. We call those hysterical mistorks.
It tracks.
And by now, people have figured out sometimes we have episodes where you and I
Shoot
pew
the
pew
shit.
pew.
Pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
It's one of them.
Hey, welcome to our shit shooter. And strap in. And as John says, strap in. And as I say, strap on.
There you go. It's a distinction with a difference.
So we're doing it. I've had some sugar already. I'm hitting that sugar high. I'm getting hopped up. I can feel it.
Great.
How are you doing?
I, Kat, which I was going to volunteer because I'm narcissistic enough not to need to be asked. I have had a very frustrating day in which I have yelled at people who maybe I shouldn't have yelled at because they outrank me, but they deserved it. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
there you
listen.
go.
Let's try to forget about that. Let's
Okay.
just push that off to the side there.
Fair. Shoop, shoop. Oh, it's back. It came back, Kat.
Damn it.
Tiny.
Let's try to focus on the now.
Okay.
Because like I said before, this next hour is going to be forever documented until the Earth explodes, either by meteor or nuclear weapons or whatever else happens. So,
Future generations will be studying this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
I don't see any other way that could work out.
what if the only thing that survives the nuclear apocalypse is our drive full of podcasts?
I think there could be no better representation of civilization at this geological time.
I mean, we would be heroes. We'd be known as like scholars, as prophets. People would build religions around us. Don't you think?
So what you're saying is people would finally recognize our importance.
Finally.
I mean, it's been a while. I've been waiting for the recognition. Yeah. Woo. I mean, who is more representative at this point in time than two people of our persuasions and our ages and in our geographic location? I mean, we pretty much represent everyone, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, John,
Yes.
mind if I take the lead here?
Oh my gosh. I thought you were leading all this time. I've been doing everything backwards and in heels and had no idea that I was supposed to be leading.
Oh no, everything. You're doing everything right.
Okay. Glad to know. That's good. You're doing most things right.
I'll take it.
Okay.
So, John, we're recording this. It's the Halloween season.
It is. The season of Halloween. We have many gourds on our front porch.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, you've got other stuff.
I have other things. I love Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I've always
As do
I. I know you guys do for sure.
Right.
Because you back in the old days, you guys used to have parties and stuff.
Yeah, we did. Back in BC before COVID.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah, that's BP.
I've always loved it.
Yeah.
Always been a big fan. Don't know why, but I feel like it tracks with like I've always been into like true crime, into the occult,
right?
Paranormal stuff. I've just always been into that.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
This is what's weird for me. I'm into that stuff in the form of stories. I think I've said it here a few times. Regular listeners may know that I am a regular listener myself to horror podcasts. Not so much the true crime, surprisingly, but I like the horror stories.
And those are fun. I like those too. I don't listen to them as much as you do.
No, I listen to them. Like I don't have any backlog right now. That's the problem. I'm caught up.
Oh.
And I even listened to one called Creepy that during October, they put out an episode every single day.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
They store them up and they do it. Like they're recording the stuff and putting the stuff together all throughout the year.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I like it. The guy who is in charge of it, who's the main guy and who does much of it. When I first started listening, he did all of the voice work for it.
Mr. Creepy?
Mr. Creepy, right. No, it's funny. His name is John. I know that much. I'm having a hard time remembering his last name.
It's Creepy, John.
It's John Creepy. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. Just like Tim Apple.
Yeah.
I don't know. You remember that one?
No.
The CEO of Apple Corporation was
Apple.
referred to by the former president of the United States as his name is Tim Cook. And he referred to him as Tim Apple. Because his identity was entirely caught up in the business. But anyway, we don't need to talk about the former president.
Let's not.
We'll talk about the former vice president much later.
Yes.
But yeah.
At the end.
Yep. So anyway, this guy is great. He's like from Minnesota, so it's very interesting. He doesn't have like an accent that comes out all the time, but he has a very interesting there's a thing with short E's and short A sounds that folks from Minnesota and North Dakota and even some Wisconsinites you'll hear.
Yeah.
So like at one time they were giving away a prize if it's like you joined their Patreon or whatever, and it was a magnet. But when he said he was magnet, and he's like, and he recognized it, but he's like, that's the way that I say magnet. But yeah, anyway, that's
Delightful.
Creepy, I'm just boosting podcasts that already have a gigantic listenership.
Yeah, exactly.
On
Well, I'll
ours
check
that
it
has
out.
tens. Oh yeah. No, I mean,
Strong
it can be hit or miss. They have some new voice talent that I got to be honest, not the giantest fan of some of the time.
Oh.
Well, okay, I'm getting. I mean, this is Shit Shooter, right?
I mean, hold on. Let me check the rundown.
Yeah.
Yep. Shit Shooter.
Okay, good. So pew pew pew. There's a thing when you, as most of these stories are single reader, it's like a single person who's voicing the entire story. It can be very difficult sometimes, especially if it's, like a 15, 20, 30-minute story, not to get into a pattern, like a rhythm where you start reading everything the same way.
Yeah.
And it's awful. It's an awful habit. And they have like 2 people who do that now, and it's new. And every other show that isn't these 2 people is great. But yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a thing. I'm into the voice thing lately. I don't know why. The last 3 years, maybe.
Oh, that's weird. How are they generating these stories? Are they creating them themselves?
Many of them are written by people with this same, they're pen names most of the time.
Okay.
They might even be I listen to the No Sleep podcast. A lot of their stuff is generated from the No Sleep subreddit, which is where people write these stories. But I believe they've branched out to some degree. They're no longer entirely dependent on that.
Cool.
People will submit stories.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's one person who writes a lot of their stuff whose name is No One of Consequence.
That's funny. Cute.
And yeah. So you start, when you listen as much as I do, you start to develop a taste for, it's going to be one of that person's. I like that person's style.
That's so interesting. I'm going to have to check out this podcast.
Definitely do it. It harkens back to a nostalgia that I have from my childhood, where I had a little radio that I would take to bed with me, and I would listen to the CBS Terror Hour. I don't know what the hell it was called, but the host of it was E.G. Marshall, who just died sometime in the last 10 years or something like that. It hit me. I'm like, oh man, I spent so many nights under the covers with E.G. Marshall.
Oh, it's adorable.
But yeah, the CBS Radio Hour, whatever it was always these scary stories, and I loved it, and I just really got into the genre as a kid, and I have always loved radio drama anyway. So that's the thing. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I do too. I've always enjoyed radio drama, horror stuff. It's always so much creepier to me than watching it. I don't like watching horror, which is weird, right? I love true crime. I love all this macabre, creepy stuff, but I'm not into scary movies. I don't like any of the slasher movies or any of the paranormal, but I'm just not into it.
Yeah, Michelle and I get very much into the psychological horror. And it's okay if there's some blood and guts kind of thing, but if the whole movie is about that, that's not our speed.
Yeah, it's not my jam. And some people really like it, and I'm not into it.
I did the whole theater of the mind idea of you picture everything yourself. It gets way worse. There was an old time radio. I think it was. I don't remember which radio show it was. I don't want to misspeak it. Not that it would matter, but where there was a monster, and the monster would turn people inside out. That was the premise.
Whoa!
And on the radio, they would have somebody wearing a rubber glove.
Oh, fun!
And they would yank their hand out of the glove right next to the microphone, and it would make this sound, and people heard it, and they would some people got physically ill because they would picture a human body being turned inside out and hear that sound.
Incredible.
And it was just great stuff.
Incredible.
Great stuff.
And that kind of reminds me of something I'll get to in a minute.
Good segue.
That's a great segue. So I was thinking today about Halloween and my relationship to it over the years, and how Halloween, when I was in elementary school, it was the only time of the year that my parents would let me go out with my friends unsupervised.
Really? Okay.
So there was one kid that lived a couple doors down on my old street that I was allowed to we could go ride bikes, but we lived at the top of a hill, so we couldn't really go anywhere we're gonna ride down the hill, but we can like just go to each other's houses and kind of go up and down, like.
Right.
But I couldn't just be like, I couldn't ride to my friend's house. Like I couldn't go to the mall with my friends unless there's a parent there. I had
no idea your parents were so strict, Kat.
They were very strict when it came to me out in the wild without an adult.
Okay.
Now keep in mind we lived in Thousand Oaks.
T.O. Strong.
So it wasn't like, it was a very protected. It felt like when we called the bubble, like we just felt it was a very safe place to grow up.
Yeah. And I grew up in Carmel, Indiana, which is also a very bubbly place in the Midwest. Yeah.
I feel like it's probably this very similar vibe.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, my parents they were cool but with most other things, but this was like, no.
This is a really big one, though, because, like, you can't do most of those other things that parents get worried about if they're always in your presence.
That's true. I mean, listen, this is way before cell phones and stuff. So, like, I would say, oh, yeah, I'm going over to Kyle's or Karen's or Scott's. And then we would go and do shit. But, like, as far as they knew, we were just hanging out at their house. Like, I would bend the rules when I could.
Sure.
But Halloween, it was a free pass. So
nice.
I could go and, all those names I just mentioned were real people, and they were my friends growing up, and so they all lived in this one neighborhood in Thousand Oaks called Caneo. Oh fuck, what was it? Caneo Village or Caneo? Fuck, I don't know. It was it's a little contained community. You had no reason to be there unless you were driving, unless you lived there or you were going to a house in there. There was no reason to be there unless you knew someone or lived in the area.
Right.
So it's very self-contained, very safe. Mm-hmm. And we would just run amok. It was, thinking back to it, like, honestly, it's probably some of the most fun memories growing up were Halloweens over there.
Wow.
Because we could do whatever we want, John. We were in charge. And people were just giving us candy. We could do whatever we want. It was so much fun. It's
fantastic. The only thing about it that makes me sad is that I had entire summers. I would be gone for like 12-hour periods.
Sure.
Just out doing God knows what with God knows who. Sure. And I don't feel like anybody grows up with that level of freedom now.
I agree. There's no way. Like if I had kids, they're not going anywhere. What are you talking about? You're not going anywhere. No. Right. I'm coming with you everywhere.
Because I have no children, I can say whatever I want, and I would let them do whatever they wanted to. I would be the most permissive parent in the world, and I wouldn't need to be any other way because they would be perfect already. Mm-hmm. They would just do what they're supposed to do because they would be my children, and there you go.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm totally entitled to that fantasy because no one will ever be able to prove me wrong.
How can I prove you wrong?
There you go.
So, actually, this is a fun. Oh, that's funny. It's an interesting story about this was Halloween.
Yep.
I think this was like maybe junior year. No. I misspoke, John. Forgive me. This would have been 7th grade. Mm-hmm. So, back in the old days, back in Thousand Oaks.
T.O. Strong.
7th, K through 6 elementary school.
Right.
7, 8 junior high, and then 9 through 12 is high school.
Right.
Apparently that's changed. Apparently now there's you get your 6th, 7th, 8th now is junior. I don't know. It's all gone crazy.
Well, there's middle school and then there's junior high, and it's two different deals.
Yeah.
Ours was bizarre. We had a 3-year high school. So,
okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's wacky.
It was sophomore, junior, senior only, and we had 6th through 9th were all in the middle school.
That's wacky, John. Mm-hmm. It's incredible you turned out as well as you did.
I know, right? With that weird setup. It is not like that anymore, however. It is now, what was a 3-year high school is now a 4-year high school.
Interesting. Why and who decided and why?
Well, it was
I'm
a
not- I
3-year
don't
high
really-
school, and we had like 2,200, 2,300 students.
Oh, it's good.
There were
amount of
that many
kids.
kids. There aren't as many kids anymore.
Got it.
So now I think they still only have 2,100 students, but it's 4 grades instead of 3.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So my buddy Kyle, I won't use his last name. He's not listening, but you know, just out of respect.
Sure.
We all, you know, our little crew of people, we all went through elementary school together. Like I knew Kyle since fucking preschool. So like,
Right.
known this dude all my life. We don't talk now. What does that tell you? So we grew up together, and then we went through all school together, all of us little crew. And then in 7th grade, he went to a private school.
Okay.
But it was literally next door to our junior high.
Okay.
So we could like see him through the fence, which is really weird. Totally. So this is the first Halloween after dude started going to that
private school.
next door. And so we're like, okay, we're going to meet at Karen's house. You don't have to keep track of these names. I'm not going to
I got
quiz
Kyle.
you.
I got Karen.
Love it.
Yep.
And okay, we're gonna meet at Karen's house, and Kyle's bringing some friends, and it's gonna be great. It's like great,
Cool.
fuck it,
All
love
right.
it.
Awesome. Love it. This is for Halloween, or this is just...
Oh no, it's Halloween, baby.
Okay.
It's
all
on
right.
theme, brother.
I love it.
So
love a theme.
I was like, I don't know why. I'm like, I'm gonna be a Vietnam vet. This is horrible. This is horrible.
You know why though? Like
Why?
during, I'm guessing this is during the time when like Platoon,
Right, Rambo.
and Full Metal Jacket, Rambo, like all these
Yeah,
different,
maybe.
like it was a time when it was in the zeitgeist.
But
You
but
were-
listen to my costume.
Okay,
This
all
is
right.
very
Oh, this is
strange.
gonna be great.
This is very strange.
Okay.
What was I thinking? So my dad was he was in the National Guard during
Cool.
Vietnam. So he had some old fatigues. So I put on his like jackety thing, had Crimmins on it. Love that.
I think that's the official name, the jackety thing.
It's the
Your
jackety thing,
government
John.
issued jackety thing.
Yeah, look it up.
Okay.
I must have been wearing some sort of a hat, and I had a cane because I got hurt in the war.
You got hit by some shrapnel.
I convinced my mom to buy me a cane at CVS. I had a cane.
I love it.
I think I still have
It's
it.
not a cane that like maybe was just an extra one that grandma or grandpa had.
No.
Just
We
a cane.
bought it.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
was, and I think I still have it. Like it's been with me. And for the piece de resistance, I was like, I gotta have a beard. So I was basically in drag. I don't know why I thought this was.
I can't imagine why that would have been. The thing.
Why did it appeal to me?
Would you say that there was an inordinate number of Halloweens that you dressed up as
I
a
mean,
masculine character?
Almost every year.
Because what's weird is I don't think of you as being masculine.
Huh.
I mean, like in general,
Sure.
but I could see that because I mean, it just I don't know. It fits. It plays.
It does fit.
It does. It does.
Fits. It fits.
If it says it fits, then it fits.
So I think I got like kind of like some of my mom's like black makeup or mascara. And I just kinda,
Oh,
like, gave
wait, what
myself,
are we
like,
doing
a-
here? Okay.
I was just like rubbed it on, like give myself a little 5 o'clock shadow.
Okay. All
A little
right.
dusting.
Sure.
And I have my hair's long, and as you do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at Karen's, and Kyle's friends are there, and it's these 2 girls, like 2 chicks. I can say that because I am a chick, our age, but like don't know them. What's that?
I can't
John?
comment on any of this. I just
No,
wanna
and you're
know.
not going to.
Nope.
And so I was like, oh, these are these 2 ladies, young ladies, junior high. What do you like? 12
When
or
you,
so.
see, this is the thing. When it's like young women, or are they girls? Are they young ladies?
So I think we're probably like 12. So I guess we'll say like young ladies.
Let's say young
girls.
ladies. Yeah.
That's hard.
Girl, you'll be a
Dun, dun,
woman soon.
So, we're like being introduced, whatever. It's kind of a little awkward because we don't really know these kids, and
Right.
it's like, oh, this is our friend Kyle. Like, who the fuck are you? And then one of them walks up to me and like kind of like picks up a bit of my hair. It's like, wow, your hair is so long. I'd never seen a guy with hair so long before.
Oh wow.
And so my brain kind of broke that day.
I can see this.
For two reasons.
Sure. Lay it out.
The first reason was like, well, I'm actually not. So I think it was the first time I'd been misgendered by my peers. No, that's not true, actually.
Okay.
It's definitely not the first. That's a different story. And I didn't. Oh, this is so interesting.
You're just opening doors, aren't you?
Yeah, we're gonna do a quick sidebar here.
I love it. Hit it.
Did I tell you this? Like, not that long ago, than last year, someone I knew in elementary school reached out to me and was like, "I want to apologize to you for something."
Oh wow.
She said, "When
elementary school, and it's now.
When I first started going to school, and I met you, I asked you, are you a girl or a boy?" And you were, I don't, the good news is, John, I don't remember this. Mm-hmm. And she said, I could tell it kind of hurt your feelings. And I wanted to apologize.
She's held on to this memory for 30 couple years?
We were probably 6 or 7.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was like, the good news is I don't remember any of this, so you're good.
Yeah.
She definitely needed for me to know. And it was like, wow, that's so interesting. Like, how we remember such different things and different experiences. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So that just flashed in my head. Anyway, so we're back in Karen's living room.
Okay, Karen's living room. Kyle is there.
Kyle's there. Karen's there. And we're getting ready to go out trick-or-treating. I'm dressed as a man. I'm dressed as a veteran of the Vietnam War. Good Lord.
I love that you're not a Vietnam soldier.
No.
Oh.
I'm a vet.
No, you're a vet, but I'm saying you're not a Vietnam soldier in Vietnam.
Correct.
No, this is after the fact.
Yeah. Like, what? How did I... And my mom was cool with this? Like, what is it? It was very interesting.
When did Born on the 4th of July come out? Is this a Tom Cruise thing?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was out at the time. That's a very Googleable thing, but I'm not going to do it.
Googleable thing. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, someone will tell us.
Far be it from us to Google.
So, yeah, so much work. So, at first I was like, kind of embarrassed. I was like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. But also I was like, oh, I could have maybe had a shot with this chick.
Yeah.
But that's ridiculous because 2 girls can't be together. Like, that's not ever going to happen. So, but that was like a very little hint of like, this kind of feels good. I kind of like getting attention from girls. It was nice.
I've always liked it.
Hey, it's pretty good. I got to say, John.
It's the best.
It's all it's cracked up to be.
I don't understand why anybody likes anything else.
Well, do you remember this? This is so interesting. Do you remember the story? Halloween is like all about me getting attention from girls that don't know I'm not a guy.
Right. No, I remember the story.
I broke my nose because I was wearing this mask.
Yep. In your garage, making a haunted house.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, there were some cute girls there, and I was kind of showing off a little bit, and I broke my fucking nose.
Listen, if you haven't hurt yourself in pursuit of a woman, you haven't really lived. You haven't really pursued. That's all I gotta say.
So then it was fine. Like, they were like, "Oh, sorry." Mm-hmm. We went and did some trick or treating, and then I feel like it was the next year. So that would have been in 8th grade. I don't think Kyle was with us. I think he had moved on to his new friends.
His new private school friends.
His new private school friends.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he wasn't a private school kid. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like they had money. It wasn't like it was a religious school too. I think because I'm airing all his laundry.
Good. You don't talk to him anymore. It sounds like you two don't really get along. So fuck him.
His dad passed away, and he lost his.
Why would you say that right after?
Well, listen, I'm just saying. You said it. Hey, listen, you're the asshole, not me.
No, but you heard me say it, and then you continued.
That's on where I was going.
That's on you, Kat.
Anyway, I think his mom was like, "You got to get this kid into some structure. Like, this could go
Need
wrong."
some discipline. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's I think why he was in that school.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next year, and I'm starting to kind of pull. I'm feeling like our little friend group is kind of starting to pull apart a little bit. I'm just not feeling quite as not like I'm fitting in as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, it's Halloween. We're going to go over to this dude's part of the town, which is a new neighborhood. It was really hilly. And it was like, but then what about Canal Oaks? I think it was Canal Oaks. What about Canal Oaks? We know that area. It's, like, no, we're going over here. Okay.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to, my mom helped me make this costume. It was like this phantom thing. I don't know. It wasn't my best efforts, but it was cool. Like this black cloaky thing. And then I like almost like skeleton makeup where it's like white and there's like black around and stuff. I thought it was
Can I
really
just
cool.
say something I love about you
Please.
is that you didn't go to like Kmart back then and like get one of those like Casper the Ghost plastic mask and then like a weird like polycarbonate vinyl thing that you would wear over. Yeah. You did homemade costumes of non-typical characters, right?
Yeah.
I like this. You were not a conformer in that regard. This is
That's right.
good stuff. Yes.
Also because my mom probably wouldn't have bought me those things, even if I wanted them. It's like, no, I'll make you this weird cloaky thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've told you, right? Like the best Halloween costume I ever had.
Remind me.
It was a Jawa.
Oh,
it was
yes.
in I believe it was 1978. Because the movie had been out in the summer of 77, I think.
Right. It was. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then
spring, May 17th.
Oh, May 17th. Okay. It was the spring. Oh, then it actually might have been 77. That actually tracks better because now I'm picturing myself in the elementary school costume parade.
So good.
And here's the thing. My costume was amazing. It was made out of this like kind of a burlappy, kind of thing. And you know how Jawas are.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah, you do. Nobody knows Jawas like Cat. I've always said that.
I've always said that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like with a cardboard front piece and that was Sharpied, like black Sharpied, all that, so you couldn't see any. And it had some little holes for me to actually look through. And above the holes, then these flashlight bulbs that were attached to a battery pack that went down inside. This is the most amazing costume in the world. Would you like to know the homemade costume that my sister wore that year when she went around with me from house to house?
Please tell me.
She was, Kat, a sandwich. It was basically two big foam rubber pieces of bread with brown marker around the edges to make the crust on the bread, and then some like green crepe paper that was the lettuce, and there was some bologna involved. It was the whole thing.
Cute.
Yes, and we went around, and the thing I remember, and I feel bad because I probably liked it too much, but
oh no,
I got invited to come into homes a lot.
Oh,
because everybody's like, oh my gosh, look at the Jawa. But the thing was, as soon as my costume hit the light,
it wasn't as
like
good.
it wasn't as impressive because you couldn't see the little lights that were my eyes, and you could kind of see the holes where I could look through. So I guess I got mine there too. But
listen, wow. Are there pictures of these costumes? Please tell me there are.
Here's the thing, Kat. I don't know it's probably because I'm a child of divorce and my sister was the older child. There are tons and tons of photos and footage of my sister. For all I know, I was like made in a lab when I was 9 years old. So there's no documentation of my existence.
That's a bummer.
Before like everything settled down when I was about 9 or 10.
That's too bad. Mm-hmm. Who made the lights and the eyes and the flashlight bulbs? Who did that?
That was actually done by my first stepfather. This is something that may be being revealed for the first time on the My Podcast or on the My Podcast mistake.
What did you just say, John?
My Podcast mistake.
What did you just say, John?
My Podcast mistake. That's the name of this podcast now. I can change the art. It can happen. No, for about 2 years, I had a stepfather who was, you know the concept of the first pancake, Kat?
I don't, John. Please tell me what it is.
Well, when you're making pancakes, it is, it's really common that you don't have the griddle heated exactly right, or you don't maybe a little too much oil, or maybe not enough oil or butter or whatever you're working with. So the first one is usually, it goes right into the garbage because
I
it's
gotcha.
not like, that was he was the first pancake
That's your
stepfather.
test pancake.
My test father. Yeah.
I gotcha.
And so he did probably the coolest thing he ever did in the 2 years that I knew him. He soldered this all together with the flashlight batteries and that kind of stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his legacy.
There are lots of others that I could talk about that are not nearly as cool, but yeah.
We're not going to do it.
No. That's a very special episode. It's never going to actually happen. No.
It's the kind of episode that we don't record. It's just us talking,
It's just us talking. That'll happen.
which happens all the time.
Does it not? I bet if you break down the time that we talk on mics and off, it's a lot more on than it is off.
That's fair.
Yeah, it happens.
So
Yes.
I have this costume. I have this makeup all over my face.
Right.
And I show up to whoever's house it was. John, I'm the only person in costume.
Were they too cool to wear costumes?
They had officially become too cool for costumes. They were all just wearing jeans and T-shirts. They didn't really want to go trick-or-treating.
Oh, my God.
We went out for a little bit, but my heart broke a little bit that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize that my childhood was dying.
Age, please, once more time.
Probably 12.
Oh, you're right in the pocket. Like I figure you can, depending. I mean, like I was a tall kid, so like 13, just that was it for me. I could not do it anymore after that because I was like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it's like so, but man, you should do it as long as you can get away with it. That's
I
the way I
agree.
look at it. We have teenagers. We've had I'm pretty sure there have been 17-year-olds who came to our door.
Oh, I would say even older for me. Like,
Sure.
Absolutely. Like
We have, yeah, just
kids, like just dudes walking around looking for free
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah. I mean, we actually have one guy who he's a developmentally disabled person. I believe that is the correct term. If it's not, please correct me. I'm sorry that I don't mean to offend anyone, but he comes around every year. I think he's probably about 30 now, maybe a little younger than that. But he comes with his mom.
Awesome.
And the first year that he came to the door, he stepped into the house and wrapped his arms around Michelle. And we had never seen him before and didn't know what was going on. And like, I almost did a bad thing. But but his mother's like, it's okay. He just wants a hug. And that was what it was. He just came in to hug Michelle and it's been fine. And we now are, we're on alert
this,
for that.
yeah.
He's probably going to go in for a hug and that's okay.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. But like, he was wearing a mask. We didn't know.
Oh, God.
It's just like this. And he's as tall as I am.
A little unsettling.
It was. But he's a good kid and his parents are like really cool to take him out.
I'm sure.
Trick-or-treating.
Yeah,
I like
you got to
that.
be a saint.
Yep.
So that was the last year I went trick-or-treating. Very disappointing. I looked like an idiot. I felt so stupid.
You did not.
I just
They
wanted
did.
to go home. I was like,
They
I
did.
just want to go home. I just want to go home.
But you didn't look like an idiot.
Well, thank you, John. I think I did.
Nope.
And then the next year, I was like, well, then I'm not going out trick or treating anymore. I'm not hanging out with those losers. Like, I don't even like those people. Why am I
F
friends
those
with them?
guys.
Fuck them. So I stayed home. It's like, I'm staying home. I'm decorating the house. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And no one came to the door. So I was out in the yard by myself.
Oh no.
I had my little radio with me, and I listened to War of the Worlds.
Nice.
So I'm
Perfect.
sitting in the yard. It was actually really nice. It was quiet, kind of spooky. And it was how I spent my first non-trick-or-treating Halloween. But it's only gotten better. Don't feel bad for me, John. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
My name's not Argentina.
Sorry, I always do that.
I know.
And so I threw myself into decorating. So it's always been something I love doing. I'm kind of passionate about it. And I've been accumulating Halloween decorations since I was a kid. I think I can pull out some decorations I've had for over 20 years.
I love it.
Easily.
This is like, a lot of people have this with like Christmas ornaments where you like pull them out. Oh, we got this when you were 7 and we got,
Yep.
but like Michelle and I stopped by your place not too long ago to drop off something for your birthday.
That's right.
And we were waiting in your backyard for you to emerge. And
I like to make an entrance.
that's how that works. And there we happen to notice, Kat, there were 2 kayaks full of skeletons in your backyard.
Yeah, that's true. They're in the staging area.
I'm gonna go with that is the staging area. Yes, 100%.
So I have these boxes and boxes and boxes of Halloween decorations, and now we have an attic. Like, it's the greatest thing in the world to have an attic that's easily accessible.
Accessible.
We have one of those, like, an attic accessible. We have one of those ladders you pull down and you can shimmy up.
Nice.
I love it. So we have this whole little section that's just Halloween. It's a dream come true. and so, my wife, her name's Leah.
You don't say.
A lot of the things that I love, she has no interest in. Like, she's not nerdy. She's not into, like, sci-fi and convention. Like, she would never go to a convention. She's only been to one convention because she was a panelist.
Can't get away from that.
She's just not. We just don't have a lot of those interests in common.
Sure.
Especially that kind of weird stuff. Weird to me is, like, awesome. Like, D&D is a whole big mystery to her. She's very supportive.
Sure.
She's just not. She's like, yeah, that's not.
That's a you thing.
That's a you. I have a lot. There's a lot of those. Luckily, John, the one thing that we are both very passionate about.
Yes.
Is Halloween.
I love it.
So
this is where you come together.
This is where we've found each other. She's actually a little more crazy about it than I am because she will make big purchases. So, like, growing up, like, you kind of hobbled together. Like, oh, cool, I'll put this here, and I've had this skeleton that's falling apart, but I'll make it work. Like, she's like, hey, why don't we buy this huge animatronic demon? I'm like, okay. Like, this is her idea.
Yes, let's finance it.
Exactly. So because of her, our Halloween game is really stepping up. Like, we're really going above my normal level
we're
of
definitely
commitment.
going to have to do the drive-by this year.
You need to. And so it's actually earliest that we didn't set up early last year because we were still kind of getting settled in and we both were working, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? But I've started setting up already. It feels good. I'm not doing it all in one fucking day, which is really frustrating.
Yep.
And so we've started. The phases have started coming together, and it's going to be a really fun year. I'm excited. It's a Monday night, which is a drag. I mean, I think
they should do it on the closest Saturday to Halloween.
Thank you.
Right? Boom.
Like, it's still Halloween night because, like, you got pagans and druids who need that particular day.
They don't even call it. It's Samhain to them.
There you go.
Stuff.
But, like, absolutely, either make it the day off. The day after Halloween should be a day off for everybody, work and school, or you just make it. I like that the last weekend of the month.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We need to. I was just looking into how many signatures are required for a ballot measure in California.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out it's 5% of the number of people who voted in the last gubernatorial election.
Okay.
So we can look into all that.
Let's do some number crunching. I think we can do this.
I think so. I think people would be on board.
I think so too.
Yep.
I think listeners, send us your decorations. We want to see photos. I love looking at Halloween decorations. I'm always doing it. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Basically things that you can always send to us. Pictures of your pets.
Yes.
And Halloween decorations.
All year round.
Yeah. Hondo P.
Please do it. I mean, should we read some email?
Oh, sure. I don't know why I thought there was still more,
No,
but
that's all I got,
right.
man.
That's hey, listen, you're the sole content provider
and
here.
Listen, I'm not known for my big closing jokes. My big
I'm the
closing
house
stories,
host.
So. You're the house host.
That's right. All right. So we have 2.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, 2 of the millions and millions that we've picked out as the actual, like, best ones to read.
Randomly selected.
No. Totally by merit.
Oh.
So neither of them is by the one writer who only I read now for some reason.
True.
So, and we noticed your absence.
Oh, hey, listen.
AK.
Don't make them feel bad.
Okay, I don't mean to. I mean, I do. Because I know it's going to prompt a great AK email.
Probably. I'll tell you what. I'm going to read Master Chief's.
Okie doke.
And you can read the other one.
The other one.
The other one.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I begin?
I believe you shall.
John, the subject of this email is I vote Dunny Dipper.
Excellent.
Hi, Kat. Hi, John. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? I'm doing well. I'm actually not procrastinating right now by emailing you. I feel like she writes that every time.
No. Typically, Master Chief
She
tells
is.
us that she is doing this instead of something that she should be doing.
My apologies.
Okay, get to know her.
I'm actually not procrastinating right now by emailing you. I had planned this into my day. Well, there you have it.
I love it.
That may be an updated sign of the apocalypse, though, so everyone watch out.
We've been scheduled, and that is a sign of the end times. Go figure.
I was going to suggest Courtesy Flesher as
That's
a name
great.
for your 2 Double Flesher episodes. That's very good. But Double Flesher rolls off the tongue better. That being said, after listening to AK's email, I have to vote Dunny Dipper. It just works.
It does.
Also, it might help keep John on their better side for a wee bit longer. Good luck. After you just called them out.
I don't know what you're talking about. AK knows that they are nothing if not my favorites.
They are beloved. Quote unquote, Misslings is amazing, which of course is the crossover fandom of My Mistake listeners and people who listen to the podcast.
To the other podcast.
John doesn't like to say the name of. Not sure how I missed that as a Stop. Not sure how I missed that as a label for the that Venn diagram intersection of podcast listeners, but big heart emoji back at AK. You know, AK didn't write in, but they are all over these emails. I'll tell you what.
Their stink is all over the My Mistake podcast.
I don't mind it.
Nope.
And I loved hearing how super excited Beck is for all the versions of a theme song. Anne's got her work cut out for her, but I believe in her, and I'm sure she'll step up to the task. Now, she might actually hear this because she hopefully will edit this episode.
We're recording with enough lead time that Anne will actually be the editor this time instead of Kat.
That's the deal. That's the deal we have.
Yep.
Question for Ask an Aussie. Oh, this is good. We're going to save this for our actual... we'll read it now, but we'll save it to ask them when we have them on for an extended version of that segment.
Word.
And here's the question. What the fuck is up with postage to Australia? Okay, it's basically an island, but it's pretty big, and I'm sure there's more than one flight there a day. I don't know. And a one cargo barge once a year. Again, I don't know.
It's hard to say.
That's how stuff got to the island mecca of St. Paul Island, AK. Is that Arkansas? Alaska. That makes more sense.
There you go.
And it was still cheaper to ship stuff there than to Australia. That's interesting. Huh.
Well, I could get into that a little bit. Basically, Alaska is the United States, even though it's not the contiguous United States. It's not the lower 48.
Good point.
Postage within the United States is all regulated, so it all costs the same no matter where.
That makes sense. I lived on said Mecca for a year when I got stationed there. Good luck finding it on a map without Google to show you where it is. Oh, good to know. St. Paul Island.
Is it in the Aleutians? I wonder.
I'm sure Jen will let us know. Take care and FMP, Jen and Master Chief. Thanks, Master Chief.
Thank you, Master Chief.
Yeah. We'll write that down for Ask an Aussie. What the fuck is up with postage to Australia?
Right.
She'll have some insight.
I think that is great. And now, now I see that it's okay. I have to find this email because.
Oh, sorry. I've
It's
ruined
okay.
it.
You opened it and I couldn't find it anymore. No, it's all good. All right. Wow. Okay. I better get a sip of a beverage here because it looks like this writer has quite a bit to say. This email, Kat, comes to us from Beck.
Beck?
Hello, Beck.
Hello, Beck.
And Beck says, "Hey guys, I have been triggered." And I just want to say, this may be the third email that has started with that, or maybe I'm just imagining it. But I think Beck is getting triggered a lot.
Oh, no.
lately. I feel, I don't know if I should feel bad about that, or if it's actually a good thing because we end up getting emails out of it.
Exactly. It's probably fine.
Yeah, okay. I don't think you understand the the rage I felt when things were insinuated about Tassie last week.
Oh, no.
And that's Tasmania.
It must be. I've never had Tassie.
And this is going to be all me. I'm the guy.
She's a Tassie lassie. I like that.
Okay, I like that too. Did you just make that up?
I kind of stole it from Tallahassee lassie.
Okay, well, you know what? It's a different context. I think you're fine.
Woohoo.
Oh boy! So I just
Strap
feel
in,
the apology. I feel the apology coming up at the end of this email. We are always the butt of every joke.
Oh no.
Our capital city is rarely listed when all the other ones are talked about. We're left off maps all the time.
What the fuck?
You know what? New Zealand has been left off of so many maps. The entire nation of New Zealand.
Oh, are you? Don't compare Tasmania to New Zealand. That's like the ultimate insult, isn't it?
I wasn't comparing.
John.
I was not. You're just trying to make this worse. You're a shit stirrer on a shit shooter, and I'm calling you out, Kat Crimmins. Okay. Currently, there's floods in Australia, and it's all over the news.
Oh, no.
They're talking about evacuations and have reporters annoyingly standing in the floodwaters while they report in case we've somehow forgotten water was involved.
That's hilarious.
That may be my favorite line of the evening.
Pretty good.
But they're only reporting about the ones on the mainland, even though people in Tassie were also evacuated. When I first introduced myself to you, Kat, I even said that I'm from Tassie, the forgotten about island at the bottom of Australia. Tassie is the best state! ! It's basically one big national park. It's so beautiful, but people give us so much shit because we're so little. Well, newsflash, everyone. If our own mainland forgets about us, then so must the world. So when someone comes and blows you up, pretty sure we'll be fine. As you can see, I get a little upset about that. All right, Beck, quick aside. This is going to be bad because I'm trying to remember the comedian's name who did there was Douglas.
Right. Oh God, I've seen them live.
Yeah, they are they. Yes,
I'm not sure actually.
God, I don't. All of
let's
this.
Let's
I
just
should never have gone into this.
Let's just assume they're.
Let's just assume they're they.
But I don't know that they are.
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull. You talk,
But
and I'm gonna
they
yell
are-
her name as soon as I hear.
They or her or him. Him is a
Hannah
native.
Gadsby. Hannah Gadsby.
Hannah Gadsby.
Hannah
Thank
Gadsby.
you. Hannah Gadsby.
Love them. Love that for them.
Yes. And they are a native of Tasmania. And I've never heard anyone say as much mean stuff about a place that they are from as I have heard Hannah Gadsby say about Tasmania. And basically, they laid out that Tasmania could be very similar to in the United States, like say Alabama or Mississippi, where there's some very conservative, and I use that in quotes because I don't think that word actually means what people mean it to mean these days. But like conservative values, people not accepting of the other, things like that. So if that came across, I do apologize. I certainly don't think that of you, Beck. I never would. All right, so let us go on. But I am lodging a formal apology. I in no way meant to besmirch the good name of Beck or Tasmania in general. Okay, here we go. I can't believe Neither of the Aussies' scariest experiences with spiders included shoes or gloves. I thought everyone in Australia's collective scary spider experience was when you last minute remember to shake out your shoes or gloves and out falls a redback or funnel web and you realize you were seconds away from putting your hand or foot in there. Fun fact, my dad got bit in his ear by a redback when I was a kid because he didn't shake out his earmuffs. Shit's scary over here. Yes, it is.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah, that is terrifying. From what I read about the funnel back, now I haven't read about the funnel web. What I read about the funnel web after that episode, if you had been bit on the ear by a funnel web, I don't know if you would survive. I feel like that would get to your brain right away and that'd be over.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was only a redback.
Scary.
Sure. Only a redback. Like probably one of the most poisonous spiders in the world. I'm like, no problem. Yeah, just that.
Thank God.
Yeah. Sticking with the Aussie theme, remember the other week when Kitch said how proud Australians are about being related to convicts? He was very right about that. It's a whole thing. But it made me remember something that I wasn't sure was real or I'd made it up. So I called my grandpa for answers. Oh man, I love this. Beck did research.
I love it.
And she is now reporting through me to you, the tens of listeners of the My Mistake podcast. When I was younger, he got really into our family tree. He found out on both sides of my family we're related to convicts. He also discovered that we are related to a woman who I swear on my kids' lives, I mean, what does that really mean, Beck? Went by the name Mary Christmas. Her real name was Mary Coucher. Christmas was the name she went by once she was part of the colony. She was a maid and was caught stealing a silver spoon and was sentenced to 7 years transportation and was sent to Sydney as part of the Second Fleet.
Wow.
Right?
Whoa.
She married a guy called Charles Smith and had 3 kids with him. The Smiths are my dad's side of the family. After he died, she married another guy and they moved to Van Diemen's Land, Tasmania, which I believe Van Diemen's Land was the original name of that state.
That is a cool name.
Isn't it? Now, it is spelled Diemans. So not Demons, but it's still cool. Van Diemen's Land. And lived in Sussex House, which is now an Airbnb you can stay in for $365 a night. I'm assuming that's Australian dollars, not U.S. dollars.
So it's like $20 a night or something.
Right, exactly. Something like that. Right now it is. The U.S. dollar is stupid strong. It's not good. Thank you for sitting through my history presentation.
Loved it.
I loved it too.
I want more. Give us more.
Yeah, I want more stories. And maybe, we should look up the Essex House. Or Sussex House, sorry.
Sussex, yeah.
Sussex.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. I had no idea drones delivered food now. My town needs that. We have 3 pizza shops, which is too many considering how small it is, and none of them deliver to my house because we live on an unsealed road. Oh, they're in the gravel world there. I like it.
I guess.
The road is so well maintained, but because it's gravel, they won't come. Lazy bastards.
That sucks.
It does suck.
Can't get a pizza delivered?
Yeah, you need a drone. They need a drone, Kat. It just needs to not crash into their power lines and turn off the power like it did in Brisbane several weeks ago. Sorry this was a long one. No, don't ever be sorry. Never be sorry, Beck. Yeah. No. But also, you're welcome for the content. Thank you.
Thank you.
Exactly. Love you guys, Beck XX. Love you, Beck.
Love you, you Tassie lassie.
Tassie lassie, it's the best. Yeah,
I don't think she's gonna like that.
Love it. No,
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I think she will. Kat.
I never know which way Beck's gonna go.
You've known Beck for longer than I have, but I'm a good judge of character, and I have a feeling that Tassie lassie is gonna land right in the pocket there.
I hope so.
We'll find out.
We're gonna find out. I hope we find out.
I hope so too.
Well, John, cool. if someone other than Beck and Master Chief and AK wanted to send us an email, how would they do that?
They could send that email, Kat, to mymistakepodcast@gmail.com.
That's exciting.
We'll read it. It is exciting.
Guaranteed we'll read. Well, there's a strong chance we'll read it.
Oh, we're going to read it. Whether we read it out loud
That's a good point.
on the podcast is different.
That is it.
Kat, you may remember that we had an extended correspondence with the equivalent of a Nigerian prince
How could I forget, John?
at a time when we may or may not have been hard up for some content.
No, what are you talking about? That was like golden, man.
Absolutely. I wonder how that person is doing.
I hope they're well.
I hope they are well.
They were going through some hard stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But now everything's great. They have all kinds of money that they want to give us.
Which is awesome. Wow, what a switch of fortune. Like they went from needing money because there's all this stuff going on, and now they just keep trying to give it away.
Give that money away. Yep.
Okay, great. So that's how people can email us.
Yes. If they wanted to look at our socials, where there's so much current content, so many posts in the last, X hours, where could they do that, Kat?
Well, John, and I am going to put up that Barb the Bison video. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen.
I've heard this before, Kat. I've been hurt before.
Well, John, I mean, I've heard you've said some things before too.
Oh, you don't have to get into that. But yeah. No, there's I sometimes, that thing where you remember something you did or didn't do, and it makes you cringe so hard you actually like physically like
react.
do a shiver or like a cringe, a wince. Yeah, that's happened.
Well, that Barb the Bison video is coming, and people are gonna love it. Mm-hmm. And when I do slap that thing together, I can't just put it up. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna put a little logo on it. It's a whole thing, John.
I'll be looking for all of those things when it comes out.
People are going to love it, and you're going to be able to see it. You go to our Twitter, which is @mymistake17.
Yes, it is.
We'll probably put it up on the Insta, and that is @mymmistakepodcast. Mm-hmm. And I think, isn't Facebook the same @mymmistakepodcast or mymistake the podcast?
It's Facebook is My Mistake the podcast. Yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Yep.
And if we can ask you a favor, dear listeners.
Yes.
If you haven't
already, can, and we are going to.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
If you could take a moment out of your very busy day, go to leave us a review and give us a rating, 5 stars only.
Please.
We would love it, and if you could subscribe as well. It's like kind of like a whole sort of like a. It's just one. It's really one thing that has 3 parts to it.
Right.
It's subscribing. It's reviewing. It's rating.
Right. Some people, Kat, pay money to people who make podcasts for them.
That's true.
It's true. We don't ask for that.
We don't. Not yet.
No. We're too lazy to have built an infrastructure that would support that at this point.
That's true.
Yeah. So
one day maybe.
Yeah. So really, if you listen to this podcast regularly and you have not written a review, haven't rated us, I'm assuming if you listen regularly, you've probably subscribed. So fine, you're good on that one. But hit those other 2 points.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Slap that subscribe button.
Bam.
Rate us 5 stars. Boom,
5
boom,
star.
boom, boom, boom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars.
Hey, these guys are great. Send review.
Boom. That's all it takes.
That's easy, man.
Yep.
Anyway.
John's
listen.
awesome and Kat's okay too.
That sounds right.
Yep.
We got some guests coming up. We're not going to say who they are.
No, don't want to tip our hand.
Got some people on the hook.
Yep.
That Barb the Bison video is going to come out soon. There's so much to look forward to. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you listen every week. That's all I got.
The future's so bright. You're gonna get laid. That's
Is that the new logo?
That's the new logo. I'm like, I don't want to say you gotta wear shades. It's like, no, the future's so bright you're gonna get laid.
I love that.
There you go. Yeah. Another motto for the My Mistake podcast.
For the merch.
Oh boy. Have we done it?
We're done. Oh,
did
dude.
we shoot? This shit has been shot.
Oh, dude, we shot it all over the place.
Okay, that's just weird. That's just weird to hear you say that.
It is a little weird, yeah.
It is. All right, well then, you know what? Fuck Mike Pence.
Fuck Mike Pence, and happy fucking Halloween.
Happy Halloween. We did it.
We did it. We did it.
Boy.
Boy.
Boy. Boogity, 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 boogity.
Yeah, it's a geeky tiki.
Uh-huh.
Geeky tiki. I think the sugar's kicking in for me.
Good for you that. Good for you that.
Oh no.